The Penn State coaching search is a disaster. I'll say it. Now, my Penn State brethren are saying it, even if they have never agreed with me on who they should hire, nor have they agreed with me on whether they should have fired James Franklin. And No and Matt Campbell are the two fill-ins to the blanks there. The latest in this saga is that Keilani Sitake is going to remain at Brigham Young. Since we last spoke, Penn State made a serious run at him. And I thought we'd hear his name sooner, but we didn't. And now it doesn't matter because he's going to remain at Brigham Young, and they're going on to play in their conference championship game Saturday. There were a lot of questions about how good a fit he would be. Fit is a very overrated term in coaching searches, but I digress. Well, moot point. So that makes like 27 names that Penn State has struck out on. Really an inexcusable spot for Penn State to be on. Let's rewind it for a second. Let's just remember where we are. I know a lot of Penn State fans are watching and we don't want to listen to this rehashed. Well, it's going to take 30 seconds. But for those of you who are just kind of observing this from a distance and you're in the weeds on it and you're so zoned in, zoom out. They fired James Franklin before almost anyone else fired their head coach this year. The reason was so they could get a jump start on a coaching search. Why? Because the calendar's different now. Signing day is tomorrow. It's the first Wednesday in December. And the portal season opens in early January. And so we've got to have a coach in place. That's the entire reason you fire a guy that otherwise was winning 9+ games per year. It's not good enough for us anymore. All right? That's great, except that you had no idea who you could go get. Well, Josh, you can't know who's available to you until you fire your coach and you go out on the market. No. We can't know who's available to Penn State until they fire James Franklin and go hire a replacement. You better be about 98% sure if you're the athletic director, or else you have screwed your program. And it's totally inexcusable. And at that point, if you fire James Franklin, again, not terrible by any stretch. The guy was in the semifinals like 8 months prior, but he's not good enough for you. You fire him, and you know you can go get Marcus Freeman or Mike Elko or Kalen DeBoer, fine. Tough love, tough business, go do it. But if you're firing him out this window, you're saying goodbye, and out that window you see nothing but fog, you might want to have him stick around until the fog clears up a little bit. But Pat Kraft didn't do that. And if you don't have certainty that you can upgrade from your current situation, but you hit flush on your current situation anyway, you're probably not equipped to be the athletic director of a major program. I'm just calling it like it is. I got nothing against Pat Kraft. What else is in your job description at that point? The football program at Penn State by 10 miles matters more than anything else he does. And it's in a state of disrepair right now. Do you understand signing day is tomorrow and they've got the 128th ranked class in the country? They're in a situation right now where whoever they sign is, I kid you not, going to have to try and do what Barry Odom did at Purdue or what Rich Rod did at West Virginia. Just portal in 60 guys so they can have a competitive team next year. That's not even to mention the mid to long-term rebuild of the roster. And meanwhile, I look down the road, Virginia Tech could not have gotten a better Christmas present than Pat Kraft delivered to them. I'm not saying that Pat Kraft is a sleeper agent for Virginia Tech. What I am saying is, if Virginia Tech had planted Pat Kraft in State College, Pennsylvania to do their bidding, he wouldn't have done much different than he's done. He fired a top 15 caliber head coach early enough in the season where Virginia Tech could go get him, have him in place, have a top 30 recruiting class, probably better than that after they wrap it up tomorrow, and you went and got a playoff caliber head coach. You massively upgraded. You got delivered to you a top 15 head coach at a program that's not a top 30 program. Quick 5-second timeout. Check and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It keeps it free. We love you. All right, back to the show. And it's because the other guys voluntarily dumped him with no certain answer. I cannot believe Penn State finds themselves here. Like, we debated internally tonight, should we have fun with this? Like, should we do the Sarah McLachlan special music? And we were going to do it, and I said no, because I like Penn State a lot as a program. So I actually don't want to make light of it, because it's really not a joke. It is, but it isn't. It's actually really serious, because there's no reason why Penn State football should be in this position. You could come to me and say, well, this job is not the caliber of Ohio State or Michigan or Oregon. Okay, I'm fine with that. I can promise you it's better than it's being treated. I can promise you it's better than it is perceived in the marketplace right now. And the other thing that aggravates me about this is you've got a guy, I'm gonna hammer this again. I really couldn't care less who it pisses off. Matt Campbell is just sitting in Ames, Iowa. And I mentioned his name a month ago, and a lot of you turned your nose up at him. Okay, well, how do you feel now? Because you chased unicorns for a while that you had little to no shot at getting, even if you had a competent athletic director. And then you chased the backup options to the unicorns, and they also told you no. And meanwhile, the guy who in the 134-year history of Iowa State football is in the midst of the best 3-year run in program history that's just sitting there has not gotten a look. And I had a couple of you say, well, hey, man, if Matt Campbell's so great, then why hadn't he gotten offers before? He has. Tennessee was there. Florida State was there. The Detroit Lions were there. You don't know it because he doesn't push to publicize it. Dude's had a ton of big-time offers in his lap in the past. Not this cycle, in the past. Again, it boggles my mind. Sometimes athletic directors have their affairs in order. And I look at a situation and I don't understand it. But just because I don't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. This one is one I don't understand because the guy at the center of it doesn't understand. So I don't know if Pat Kraft's going to have his job much longer. Like I legitimately look at it. It's that disastrous. I know if you're not following this coaching search day to day, you are listening to me right now saying that's way too harsh, dude. You're trying to rage bait with this. What were all the other terms? Engagement farm, clickbait. You're just trying to hot take your way through this. No, I'm not. I promise you I'm not. If you get closer to the situation, you really start to feel the gravity of the situation. It really is that bad. So, I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know where it's going to go. Like, I don't know if Bob Chesney has signed his deal at UCLA. Jeff Brom. Like, these are just some of the names being thrown around. Brian Dable is out there. I don't know. I do know this. Academy Sports and Outdoors has your outdoor gear. Academy Sports and Outdoors, they're ready for the winter sporting season, the spring sporting season. I don't care if you want to buy stuff for the summer of next year. Really competitive pricing right now. Academy's been a long-term partner of the show. Eternally grateful to them. They believed before many others believed. And so academy.com is always there if you can't get there in person. A lot of you are doing shopping right now. And once you get done at the Pate State store, patestateMaterial.com, head over to Academy, whether it be in person or academy.com. Grills, canopies, late tailgating purchases, perhaps. Yes, it could all be done there.